The towering spires of Westminster Abbey cast long shadows over a kingdom on the brink. The year is 1509, and a young, golden prince ascends to the throne of England, his reign promised to be a new dawn. But this is not a tale of chivalry and glory. It is the story of a king whose ambition would shatter a continent. Henry VIII, a monarch whose name echoes through history not for conquests abroad, but for the revolution he unleashed at home. A man who defied the most powerful institution in Europe, tore his nation from the fabric of Christendom, and left behind a legacy stained with blood, treachery, and the birth of a new world order. This is the story of the king who broke a continent. Henry VIII was born in 1491, the second son of Henry VII, the first Tudor king. Destined for the church, his life took a dramatic turn when his elder brother Arthur died in 1502, thrusting the young Henry into the line of succession. By the time he was crowned in 1509, he was a prince of immense promise, charismatic, intelligent, and physically imposing. His early reign was marked by a desire to emulate the grand monarchs of Europe, and he quickly married Catherine of Aragon, his brother's widow, to secure an alliance with Spain. Yet the king's greatest desire was not for power or land, but for a male heir. As the years passed, and Catherine bore him only a surviving daughter, Mary, Henry's frustration grew. By the late 1520s, he had become infatuated with Anne Boleyn, a lady-in-waiting to his queen. His pursuit of her was not merely a matter of passion, it was a political and dynastic calculation. Anne, however, refused to be his mistress, demanding marriage. For Henry, this was the catalyst for a crisis that would reshape England forever. The king sought to annul his marriage to Catherine, but the Pope, under pressure from her nephew, Emperor Charles V, refused. Henry's response was revolutionary. In 1533, he broke with the Catholic Church, declaring himself the supreme head of the Church of England. This was not a rejection of faith, but a rejection of papal authority. The Act of Supremacy, passed in 1534, formalized this break, and England became a Protestant nation in name, though Henry's personal beliefs remained largely Catholic. The consequences were immediate and far-reaching. Monasteries were dissolved, their wealth seized by the crown, and those who resisted, most notably Sir Thomas More, were executed for treason. Anne Boleyn, now queen, bore Henry a daughter, Elizabeth, but failed to produce a son. By 1536, she too was cast aside, accused of adultery and treason, and executed. Henry married Jane Seymour shortly after, and she finally gave him the heir he craved, Edward VI, before dying in childbirth. The king's later years were marked by tyranny and instability. He married 3 more times, Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and Catherine Parr, each union a reflection of his desperate search for companionship, legitimacy, or political advantage. His reign saw the execution of 2 wives, the downfall of powerful ministers like Thomas Cromwell, and the brutal suppression of rebellions, most notably the Pilgrimage of Grace in 1536. By the time of his death in 1547, Henry VIII had transformed England from a Catholic kingdom into a nation on the cusp of Protestantism, but at a cost that was paid in blood. The break with Rome was not just a personal or national matter. It sent shockwaves across Europe. The Holy Roman Empire, France, and Spain watched as England defied the Pope, and the continent's religious and political landscape was forever altered. Henry's actions paved the way for the Reformation to take root in England, setting the stage for the conflicts and transformations of the centuries to come. Henry VIII's reign was a turning point not just for England, but for the world. His defiance of the Pope fractured the unity of Christendom, and his pursuit of power and legacy left a nation forever changed. The king who broke a continent did so not with armies, but with a single, irrevocable act of defiance. His story is a reminder that history is shaped not only by battles and treaties, but by the personal ambitions and convictions of those who wield power. And in the shadows of his legacy, we see the birth of a new era, one that would reshape the destiny of nations.